All right, Charlotte, this is problem 50. If it says it has a 0 of I, because it's complex, it also has a 0 of negative I. So you know two factors, x minus I and x plus I. And you could multiply those. All right, I'll multiply them in just a minute. Same thing with 55. If you have a 0 of 2 minus I, then you have the conjugate. It's plus and minus. So you have x minus 2 minus I, and you have x minus 2 plus I. All right, so we can multiply these. X squared, they're conjugates, so you just multiply the first and the last. That's minus I squared, which is plus 1. Then you can do long division to factor. Well, let me write this down a little bit further. X squared plus 1, x squared plus 1, divided by x cubed plus x squared plus x plus 1. X cubed divided by x is x. That's x cubed. You distribute it. Plus x. Subtract. So you're left with x squared plus 1. So it's just x plus 1. All right, so here's your other 0. Your other 0 comes from that factor. X equals negative 1. So now you have all the zeros. Plus minus I, negative I. Same thing here. But multiplying this is a little harder. X squared, we did one of these, right? I'm just trying to hold the camera. Negative 2x plus xi. That's negative 2x. That's plus 4. And negative 2 times I minus 2i. And then negative I. That's negative xi. That's plus 2i. Negative I times negative I is positive 1. So we're going to add 1. All your i's cancel because they're conjugates. So you end up with x. I'll write it down a little lower. X squared. X squared minus 4. X plus 5. Then you would do long division with this under the dividing sign, and then you would come up with an x squared, right? You'd have something x squared up here, and then you could use the quadratic formula to find the other zeros. So you'd have a 0 of that to plus I. I'll quickly do the long division. X to the 4th minus 4x cubed plus 6x squared minus 4x plus 5. The first one is x squared, so that's x to the 4th minus 4x cubed plus 5x squared. I know my handwriting is pitiful. All right, so it's 6x minus 5x, that's just x squared minus 4x plus 5, and that's just plus 1. It's the same. Plus 1. So that's another factor. So my other zeros would be x squared plus 1 equals 0. Subtract the 1. X squared is negative 1. Take the square root. That's x is plus and minus I. So 2 minus I, 2 plus I, minus I.